Hello everyone, I'm AniMatrix, and today I wanted to discuss one of my favorite characters that I've ever played in D&D. I've been playing D&D for 3 years, and over those years, only one character has really stood out to be my all-time favorite character, and that would be Elizabeth. Elizabeth is currently my D&D character. I've been playing her for maybe not quite a month. No, about a month. Yeah, a little over a month, I think. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love playing her. She is just one of the greatest characters I've ever played. So Elizabeth's personality is kind of a weird one for me. So first off, the reason I started playing her is because over the years I've been playing a lot of characters that really don't work with me. My first one that really didn't work was an elf druid named Quarian Galenadel, and oh my gosh, Quarian was about my worst character I played aside from Callison. Quarian had like no personality. He was the first character that I played that had like nothing with him. There was no substance to him. He was my second character I ever played, and my first character was really good, but my second Quarian was awful. I couldn't get anything out of him. He was so dull, lame, boring. He hardly ever spoke. The one time he really had anything interesting about him was right before a boss fight, where he really showed off his druidness, and even then he was pretending just so he could get closer to his opponents, which I think backfired because he eventually backed off. He eventually had to back away, so that was pretty irritating. But then my other character that I had is Callison, and oh my gosh, Callison was terrible. By far my worst character I've ever played. And now, if a character can be boring, then there's a character that's too interesting. And Callison is that one that's way too interesting, because I tried to play an evil character. Right now I'm playing through Tomb of Annihilation, and my group decided, hey, let's all play evil characters. And that backfired really quickly. None of our characters were evil, but one point, like halfway through the campaign, I guess, I don't know, I was like, oh, you know what, how about I actually try an evil character, like a really evil character. And I got Callison, who, if you played through BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle or Persona, no, not Persona, Unbirth, I think it's Unbirth, the one with Hyde, who's got like that blonde hair. I don't know the games, I don't play them, but I played through BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and in that game there is a character named, I don't remember his name actually, but he's like really aggressive, really evil. He like has this, he's got like red hands, and he's always swearing, always throwing like insults at people, always being aggressive towards people. And Callison was inspired by him. And oh my gosh, I regret ever playing that character. Callison was awful. He's just awful. Nobody liked him, not even me, and it's just, we all agreed he's awful. And then just aside from those two, most of my other characters have been kind of boring. There are like a few characters here and there that like really stood out, but for the most part, most of them have been boring. They haven't really been all that interesting. So they've just like one spoke very monotonous, and while the way she acted was interesting, her speech was kind of boring, and it was really rough. But after I played through all of them, I came across Elizabeth. I just came up with Elizabeth, and I'm like, I love this character. She's amazing. Like I said earlier, her personality is very interesting compared to all the other characters I've played so far. Like, probably my favorite part about her is the fact that she's relaxed. She is very relaxed, laid back, and doesn't care. As opposed to like every other character I've played who's always been uptight or focused or interested in something. I've always tried to really put an emphasis on they have something that they're focused on. But Elizabeth, she is stupid relaxed. Like, very relaxed. to the point where it's like she doesn't care about anything except the people that she's around. That's pretty much that and the things that she loves the most, which I'll get into later. But another thing that I really like about her is that she's very excitable and she loves to have fun. Like, she doesn't really show it all that much, but it's like she is. She gets very excitable and can be very interesting. And in addition to just her being exciting and fun-loving, she can be a bit difficult to understand at times. Like, she has trouble showing herself. Like, she has this weird thing where if somebody touches her, she'll randomly snap, which I'm trying to get used to. It's kind of weird. I thought that was a unique thing at first, but it didn't really take off at first because nobody poked her or touched her or anything. And she actually sat kind of close to people. I made it so that she really likes her personal space, but for some reason she still loves to get people to come sit beside her at the table. So it's kind of a conflicting thing. But if somebody like pokes her, like we have this one character, Captain DJ Disco Funk, and oh my gosh, every time he pokes her nose, she snaps at him, and it's out of character for her. But I guess it's one of those things that just she doesn't like. I've set it up now. I can't go back. I can't retcon that. Yeah, but aside from her just being very interesting, she has two very specific things that she absolutely loves. The first one is inventing, which I haven't been able to explore much in this game. I haven't really had much chance because we're playing Tomb of Annihilation. There's not much chance to invent much. So she more does things to upgrade herself. She does have this little clockwork beetle that she's made that can climb, and she can control it remotely. That's another thing. She does not use magic. She is a totally technological person. That's something very important about her. You have to know. But she does have a little clockwork beetle. She also made this belt that is a very important belt that I will get to in a minute. But she also upgraded her crossbow, her heavy crossbow, so that it was automatic reload. It had like a cartridge system now, a magazine system. But aside from inventing, she also really, really loves drinking ale. That's her passion, and that is something we've explored a lot. It is insane how much she drinks, and it's surprising how little she gets drunk. Because she rolls stupid high on her constitution, and I don't know how. It's insane, but she rolls stupid high, and she just absolutely loves it. And you better not mess with her or take her ale away. She loves it that much. She will snap at you. She will beat you if you take it away from her. And in fact, she loves it so much that she's combined her inventing and her drinking to make that belt that I mentioned earlier, where it's a belt that holds 10 vials that she's filled with ale. And it's glorious. It is by far my favorite thing that I've done with any character so far, because she loves ale that much. She just loves it that much. She made a belt that holds vials of ale, and she just drinks them randomly. She'll randomly pull them out and drink them. And then, aside from that, her story is kind of interesting. We haven't really done much with her in the campaign itself, but as for her backstory, she grew up in a land, kind of a desert land, not like Egypt desert, not sand, but dust. You know, like Arizona, and it's like that's basically been her home. That's where she grew up. She's used to that. She's used to heat. She's probably not used to humidity. So the island that Tomb of Annihilation takes place on, so that's a bit of a shock for her. But she is used to heat, not humidity per se, but heat. And then her homeland, from her home, she was part of a tribe called the Thrasher tribe, who was very aggressive. They loved to raid their opponents, and this is where she's a fighter. She's like she's a human fighter. So this is where she really learned how to fight, how to be aggressive, and she learned that she really likes fight pits. Like, not being in them, watching them. Like, it was funny, we were in Port Nyanzaru, and we discovered this pit where thieves run across it from one end to the other, and the pit is full of savage beasts. So criminals get thrown in there at one end, and they have to run to the other end and survive. And if they can survive and climb out the other end, then they're safe. They've won. They've won their freedom. Sweet. But it was funny because when she discovered this, like her life living in the Thrasher tribe had come back. Like her habits from the Thrasher tribe had come back and been like, okay, let's start gambling on this and let's have fun. She didn't actually gamble, but she was like, oh, that guy's totally gonna die, or that guy's totally gonna die. Like, he'll probably make it halfway. It was hilarious. In my party, I'm like the pure one of our group, so all the other players were like, dude, what happened to you? Why are you so impure now? What is all this aggression? It was hilarious. They thought it was. I thought it was funny. But living in a desert with tribes, there were enemy tribes, and the Raven tribe was her main enemy tribe, and they were the enemies of Thrashers to the point where it was kind of a rivalry, and the Ravens at some point in her life attacked her home randomly, her tribe, and massacred most of them and sent the rest running out into the more greenish lands of the nearby area. So it was kind of a shock for her, and she lost all of her inventions, which she calls babies, by the way. I forgot to mention that. She calls them babies, her babies. It's funny. But she lost all her inventions, all her friends, and it was a sad moment for her, losing her tribe, but it was to the Ravens of all people. But the saddest moment in her life was the loss of Klinger, her pet war lizard. Her tribe was known for riding giant lizards into battle, and because of all the buttes and cliffs and all that, they had the lizards there were very good at climbing, and Klinger was an exceptionally good climber. So she was known for riding this stupid skilled lizard on walls while fighting, and Klinger was a very good friend of hers. The two of them were like inseparable. They loved each other to death. She even made some guns, like she invented guns and strapped them to Klinger's saddle so that she could have guns on him when she rode into battle. It's great. She really loved Klinger, and the loss of him in battle was really hard, and the warrior that killed Klinger didn't last much longer than Klinger did. It was sad for her. But now she's here with the party. She's here with Captain DJ Disco Funk and Victor and all these others. I just love this group so much, and Elizabeth really came out of this group. I'm really glad that I got to play with these people, because I probably never would have came up with Elizabeth, and I never really would have had an idea of how to play Elizabeth if it weren't for these guys and girl. And I absolutely love my whole group. So yeah, that's Elizabeth. She's my favorite D&D character of all time. I just thought I'd like to share her with you. That's all I wanted to do. I hope to do more videos like this, discussing various things about D&D and other things in the future. Talk to you all later. Bye.